Contractors, today I'm going to tell you exactly why your leads aren't converting. Okay, why your leads aren't converting from an estimate into a closed job. I know that a lot of you might think that, oh, we just need more leads, volume does negate luck, but I gotta let you know, throwing more leads into a broken system that's just burning, it's gonna burn your money a lot faster. Okay, the real problem is that your backend process is really messed up. Okay, so first thing is like you have no lead management system, okay? Everything lives on your phone, whether you're texting these leads through, SMS, DMs, or voicemail, like it's all very scattered, okay? You don't have a lead management system, and that's like a CRM. If you cannot see your pipeline like within every stage of where the leads are, you can't really grow. You don't know where your next job is coming from. Now, you're not responding fast enough. So if a lead is coming in at 2 p.m. and then you call them at 5:30, I want you to know they're probably going to book with somebody else. Because if the first contact wins most of the time, okay? And speed is everything. If that first contact has the sales skills and follows the process, they're going to win. They're going to get that lead. But if a person that is also fast enough but isn't skilled, they might not get that lead. So the most important thing is responding fast enough. Because if you're great at sales and you believe in what you do and you know you call that lead before everybody else, you're going to get the job. But if you don't do those things and another skilled contractor is going to call that lead, problems are going to occur. Now, that is specifically when it comes to Angie's, right? If you're running ads, most likely these leads are going to be entirely exclusive to you or whatever you're doing. If you're working with us, like all the leads are entirely exclusive, like every single lead is yours. And speed is the most important thing that I want you to understand. Third, you're not following up consistently. So if you think that you're just gonna call that lead once and if they don't pick up the phone, that's it, you're not gonna call them again. They didn't pick up the phone and you gave up. I want you to know there's gonna be another contractor out there that will call that lead, okay? That will call that lead 15 times, 20 times, 30 times until they get that job. Because if you don't have a follow up in place where you can consistently call these leads on a daily basis, twice, three times, you're not going to have any revenue. Because you got to understand, some of these leads are very busy. Some of these leads are, own big commercial businesses and they don't really have time to call because they get called every day, right? By businesses or whatever they may be doing, team members, and you got to realize that if you call them once and they don't pick up and you give up on them and that's it, you're not going to land that big job. Fourth, you're not qualifying leads before the estimate. So if you're showing up for people who have no budget, no urgency, and no decision making power, which means you didn't pre handle all their objections before you come to the estimate, you're not a contractor, you're just a consultant, okay? And your time is free, it's not valuable. You gotta stop giving out estimates to everybody and everybody. You gotta only give them out to people that have qualified and they actually tried to close. Fifth, so you don't have a pre-sale system. So you're expecting people to trust you based on a phone call. No, you didn't give them any before and after photos, no testimonials, no process or explanation. If you don't build trust, you're just another contractor with a truck, okay? So you got to be able to nurture these leads, build that trust, create show them who you are, show them that brand, what makes you different. What makes you different and better than everybody else out there? It's not about the amount of years that you've been doing this, right? Like, oh, I've been doing this for 2 decades or whatever it may be. Like it truly what matters is like your intention and confidence. And we'll get into it in another day. Six, so you're selling with no structure. So you show up, you look around, you spit out a number after, doing the measurements or whatever it may be, and you just hope for the best. You don't have a framework, script, no urgency, no plan. You gotta understand, you don't need to be pressure sales or pushy. You just need to be prepared. And prepared means you know the sales process by heart. You've memorized it, you've internalized it so much to the point where now you personalize it, where it just comes off your tongue like so naturally. It's just a part of you, okay? So a lot of you just come in sell without a structure. Like the other day, I had a person tell me that, they have another person coming in giving them an estimate. But you gotta realize that person that's gonna be giving out this estimate, he's probably going to close the deal because they didn't follow the process. You know what I mean? So you got to understand that whenever you get an objection, you got to handle it. Okay, like why would you get another estimate for somebody else if this checks all your boxes and this is exactly what you're looking for, right? It's just all about having the structure. Maybe they're uncertain, maybe you didn't nurture them properly, maybe you don't follow the process, maybe you didn't have a process in the first place. So a solid system looks like this. These go straight into a CRM. They get instant automated replies, human response within 2 minutes, or AI response, which is, will seem like human. Something that is building a reputation, not just a machine, okay? Something that is actively building your brand. Budget and timeline pre-qualifiers, like questions built into the process, like a survey or qualification form. Photo, video content sent before the estimate to build trust, to nurture these leads and make them see like you're the best for this, okay? There's nobody better than you. Once again, what I always say, start a YouTube channel. Like post a lot on Instagram and Facebook. Like make yourself different than everybody else. Okay. And clear follow-up reminders and re-engagement sequences. Those go a very long way. Okay. So essentially, if you think you have a lead problem, what you actually have is a process problem. So fix the process and the leads you already have will start turning into cash. Okay. I can tell you that right now. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or shoot us an email.